not all hard money lenders are created equal. Every lender is going to look at things a little bit differently. They're going to have different borrower requirements, the criteria that they're going to be looking at as far as the property, the types of properties that they're going to be doing, interest rates, and so much more. There's lots of different things that they're looking at. So what is very helpful if you can know if you're going to get the best opportunity for your property to make a maximum amount of profit. So we're going to talk about this today, and we're going to talk about 10 things to look for in hard money lenders and what you should know about it. 10 things to look for in hard money lenders. A couple of things we're going to be covering today is the importance of hard money lenders and why you should know about them, what you should know about hard money, couple of things you may not have known, understanding what hard money lenders are looking for, as well as how to find the best hard money lenders, okay? So let's talk about the importance of hard money lenders to begin with here. When I first started investing, I should have just started investing. Anyway, I could have done that either way, I guess. When I first started, here's the problem that I ran into, okay? I would spend time, I would spend money, I would spend months of my life to go and find a property. I'd find a property and I would put that property under contract, okay? And then I'd call and try and find hard money or private money. And what I would find is that these people, for some reason or another, may not like my deal. They would say, oh, I'm running low on money, so I'm gonna charge more. They would say, oh, you know what? I ran into a problem. I don't like that area because I saw something on the news. So finally, after frustration, after losing good deals because the funding wasn't in place, I got a little smarter with that, okay? So what I actually did is they wouldn't like the area, they wouldn't like the numbers. I'd spend months to find this, and what would happen, I'd get to the point where I just said, okay, guys, hard money lenders, what do you like? And what don't you like? Basically what I did is I go to the hard money lenders and I say, please give me a shopping list, okay? If you were gonna go out there and you were gonna pick the perfect property for you to lend on, what would that look like for you? And I can tell you every lender is gonna have something different, okay? So if you were asking me that question, I would say single family houses under $500,000, higher than $100,000 in major metro areas with low crime and high pride ownership. Like that is what I am looking for. That's kind of my sweet spot, right? So every hard money lender is gonna know that. So if you go and say, hey, what's your sweet spot? And then you say, great, I'm gonna go find that, because my probability of them wanting to do that deal with that, when I bring them what they like the most, is so much higher than just going out there and finding a deal. So most people get this confused. They go find properties. You need to go find your lender, and the lender is going to work with you. You need to find out what their sweet spot is, and you need to go and shop for their shopping list that they just gave you. That's how you want to do this thing. So then I would go find the property that they wanted, and it's really important that we're looking at this. So find someone that will finance you. Find that hard money lender that will get there, understand exactly what they will and what they will not lend on, and then you go shopping. And that's why we're gonna get into this 10 things you should look for in hard money lenders. Okay, number one, you want a hard money lender that tells you the rates, the terms, and the fees up front, right? You don't want any surprises. This was something that was a big problem, and because of that, what I did is I actually built, well, I should give all the credit to Jonathan, but we built a calculator. It's called our Advanced Deal Analysis Calculator, and basically when you plug everything in, it is going to give you all the projections with fees, rates, terms. It's even gonna give you closing costs and title fees and everything else that we possibly can, even transfer taxes if that's applicable in your area. And so you can run that as many times as you want to. That's one of the ways that we solve the problem, because it is very time consuming to have a conversation on every potential deal, and you need to be able to make moves quicker than that. And so we built a software. Okay, rate and terms. A rate is the interest rate. Is the interest rate going to be 15%, 18%, 12%? That is the interest rate. That's an annualized interest rate. It's not a monthly interest rate. That's annualized, okay? Term is how long the loan's for. So typically most hard money loans are around 5 months. And so that's how long. So that's some things that you know on the rate and terms, what fees are going to be involved, what's the origination fees, and what additional fees are there. Those are questions you need to be asking the hard money lender that our software actually just answers for you. So makes it a lot easier. Okay, number 2, you want a hard money lender that will fund repairs or is willing to fund the repairs if the deal is a good enough deal. If your hard money lender won't fund repairs, you're gonna have to fund those yourself. And if it's $50,000 in repairs, that's a lot of money. This makes it very difficult to get started in real estate investing. So number 3 thing you wanna find in a hard money lender is no monthly payments for the initial term. If you get a hard money lender that says, hey, you know what? We are going to include those payments as part of the loan, and then you don't have to make payments for the first initial term, yes. That is something that could work out really well and something you should be looking for in your hard money lender. Most hard money lenders want monthly payments. Will the lender allow you to include payments as part of the loan is really what you want to be looking for. Number 4 uses after repaired values, okay? In hard money, there are 2 values to look at. There's the as-is value, what the property's worth the way it sits right now. And then there is the after repaired value. After repaired value being, what will the property be worth once all the work is done to the property? What will that value actually be? Okay, based on a pre-established scope, right? What work is going to be done? What work are we going to do with this property? Based upon that, what is this property going to be worth? Okay, number 5. Will lend up to 75% of the after repaired value, right? There's a lot of lenders that'll do 75% of the as-is value. Well, who's gonna do that on the after repaired value? So make sure your lender will not over lend to you. If they're gonna lend you too much, you're gonna get yourself in trouble. So you wanna make sure your lender won't over lend to you. If a lender's gonna go more than 80%, 75 stretching it, 80 is really getting there. I would convince they're what's called a loan-to-own lender, basically, which means they're giving you the loan because they want to own the property, okay? So that is something you want to stay away from. You do not want a loan-to-own lender. I say it all the time. We don't want the property. We want our money back and a couple more friends along with it. That's what we are looking for. So we want our money. So that's what you want to be looking for. If a lender is under 60%, or under 70%, it requires more cash from you in order to make the deal happen. So you're looking for the sweet spot when it comes to what they are willing to lend, but you wanna make sure you're not going over 80% for sure, because if you're doing that, I have some concerns, not just with your profitability, but with the intentions of what that hard money lender may be wanting to do. Okay, number 6. You want a hard money lender that has tools that will help you find properties, especially in today's market where finding properties can be more difficult than it has been in the past. You want tools that will estimate the equity of homes. You want tools that will help you compare motivation. Those are things that you want to be looking at. So you want to be able to look at vacant properties and involuntary liens and bankruptcies and out-of-state owners and non-owner-occupied pre-foreclosures, failed listings, pre-probate, landlords, senior owners, divorces, free and clear properties, bank-owned properties. Like, those are all things you want to be able to look for, and you want to be able to have your lender help you in getting access to that data so that you can then go out there and find these great deals. That's what you want in a hard money lender. Okay, you need to have equity and motivation. Equity without motivation is not going to help you a ton. Number 7, you need proof of funds letters. Okay, that's what you're gonna need. You're gonna need some proof of funds letters. So how do you get those? You need to have an easy way to get proof of funds letters. If you have to call somebody every single time you get a proof of funds letter, they're gonna get sick of you calling and you're gonna get sick of calling them. You need to be able to have a system, a way, a software maybe, where you could put it in, it tracks it, everybody knows what's going on, you can print off, send the offers. Those are some things that you can be doing that you should be getting from your hard money lenders. If it takes too long, it's not going to be fun. Best. If this is a software, then you can do it anytime, which is one of the things we like to do. So you give the seller and you show, hey, I've got a lender, we're ready. They wanna lend. If you will go under contract, we can start the process of making this a reality. Okay, number 8, we'll fund to you without experience. There's a lot of lenders that are like, hey, I'll fund you if you've done 100 deals. I'll fund you if you've done this for 50 years, right? But what about somebody that's just getting started? Well, see, here's the thing. Even if you're experienced, if you're working with somebody that will work with people that are new, you've got an amazing lender on your hands, because new people are the absolute hardest to work with in making a deal happen for you. They just are. There's so many mistakes and things that you're going to make. So if you've got a hard money lender that's willing to do that, okay, that makes a big deal, because then, you know, even if you're experienced, they're looking out for you. So that's one thing. If the lender is asking for experience, that's something I think you need to be concerned of. Typically, they want a couple of flips in the last 2 years. That's very typical that people are looking for. So if you don't have this, most hard money lenders will say, I am not going to lend to you. So you've got to find a lender that will lend to you without experience. This is typically more expensive, and there is typically more risk because you haven't done this before. So you got to realize that if you're comparing what the hard money lender is going to charge you to the billboard driving down the street that says 4% interest rate, you are going to be in for a shock, because the hard money doesn't get backed by the government, doesn't have these special insurances if they lose money on deals. They don't have bailouts. All that type of stuff does not happen. The rate's going to be significantly more. So just be prepared for that. Number 9, you want a hard money lender that will fund 100% of the purchase and the rehab, okay? As long as it's after repaired value. So you want to make sure somebody's going to fund 100% of the purchase and the rehab. Okay, most lenders will fund up to 90% of the purchase, not 100%. And you have to come up with your payments. You have to come up with your rehab. You have to come up with your closing costs. If you could get a lender that would fund the purchase, the rehab, the closing costs, and the payments, you have got yourself an amazing lender if they'll do those things as part of the loan. Now, but you also have to realize, to make this a reality, you've got to find a really good deal, because you're trying to fit a lot of people in a small box, which is basically this idea of getting all these things covered, which means you have to find an even better deal than what another lender would require, because they're going to be funding more to you. So all of this can be as part of your loan. So you just have to make sure that the ARV is under 70%, okay? So it takes more work to do this. I can tell you that, but it's gonna be more profitable for you, and it's gonna get you into the game, okay? So for example, let's just say the after repaired value is $100,000. The maximum loan would be $70,000. So everything, your purchase, your rehab, your closing costs, all that needs to be included in the $70,000 purchase, rehab, closing costs, and payments. And if you can do that, and you've got a lender that's willing to do that, you've got yourself an amazing lender. And number 10, you need a hard money lender that has project managers that can help you establish the scope of repairs. A project manager needs to say, hey, these are the things that you need to do to get your property in the same condition as these other properties, okay? And so they're gonna help guide you with that. So you want a hard money lender that has project managers that are going to help you out, okay? Especially if you're a new investor and you don't have any experience, that's gonna be especially needed. But even like we had a experienced investor on today, and they're like, hey, these project managers have helped me out so much. So that's something that can be a huge benefit to you. So having somebody with experience that can help you establish scope, they can help consult in situations, hey, what do you think we do here? What do you think we do there? Is a big, big deal. Okay, let's run through these. Top 10 one more time. You want a hard money lender that will tell you the rates, terms, and fees up front. Better if they have a calculator. You want a hard money lender that will fund your repairs. You want a hard money lender that will include your monthly payments into the loan. You want a hard money lender that uses after repaired values, one that will lend up to 75% of the after repaired value, one that has tools to help you find properties, has proof of funds letters available, which is better if it's a software as well. Number 8 will fund you without any experience. Number 9 will fund you 100% of the purchase, the rehab, if it's all under 70% of the ARV. And number 10 has project managers to help establish the scope and help with consulting along the way.